Never forget the lessons, relationships established, possessions he made great use of, games when he had to carry the team, one of which against Bataan in our historic first game in Abra, as we mentioned. Kwento nga ni Casajeros, grabe si Eric nun, wala daw hiya. Pati baliktad na tira pumapasok. These two shared a lot of after-practice meals together around the Marikina Sports Center. Halos lahat daw ng karinderya sa may palengke, nakainan na nila. But really, Eric knows he has yet to prove himself here in Rizal. But as he is already on the other side of the fence, he can't help but think about the journey to where he is now. Have you, Coach Mike?
Maraming salamat. Beautifully said there, Mika. You know, Eric Pili, I do agree with that statement though, as we look at the quarter scoring on your screens. Rizal and Marikina fighting to that 23-all deadlock in that third quarter. I do agree with that statement said by Mika na sinabi ni Casajeros. Walang hiya talaga yan si Eric. Dahil ako, I had the opportunity to become his teammate. Wala akong halos nahawakan na bola.
Kumpiyansa lang.
Kumpiyansa lang talaga. I mean that in a good way, the best way possible. This is our fast break of the game brought to you by Extreme X Play on the Go speaker. Take your music anywhere. No, honestly, Eric has really been a very talented scorer, you know, a lefty that has become a multifaceted shooter, and I'm very happy to be seeing him ply his trade here in the Mpbl as we see Robin Naive do his own thing there for Rizal.
I'm actually one of the guys that's happy to see the start of the season, Eric Pili going over to Rizal, because I strongly feel that it's gonna elevate his game all the more with, you know, these talents that they have here on their roster. Not a good play right there for Rizal. You were on a 3-on-2 break with your best guys that side of the floor, and you muff it.
Maybe a little bit too unselfish for Cano Caballero. He was already wide open on that left side. Marikina gets another steal here.
Oh man.
And that's going to be another foul given up by Rizal. That's going to be the third personal laban kay Caballero. Apasible will come out in favor of Marco Balagtas. Hasn't really been that nice of a game para kay John Apasible this afternoon.
He's been in and out actually. He couldn't catch a good rhythm. I feel isa na yan sa mga maybe impact ng platoon substitutions.
That might be one factor, yes.
Yeah, that's one thing, because guys can't have a continued sweat and momentum. Oh, Yutok once again. Oh my goodness.
Well, this guy just literally came off the bench. He was subbed out along the end point of our third quarter, and just as we begin the fourth period, able to knock down that three-point shot. He's now in double figures. But Robin Naive gets that back with 3 points of his own.
Well, definitely, Robin Naive has got to get involved, not just on the offensive end, but even on the defensive side of the floor. You know how much of a good partnership he has with Tolentino defensively.
These Rizal Golden Coolers, they have a lot of defensive linchpins among them.
Agree.
You mentioned Robin Naive and Neil Tolentino. Samboy De Leon
yes.
could also play very well on that end of the floor.
Yes.
So can Eric Pili, as we see Jay Yutok knock it down from that left corner pocket.
And he's got 11 points, and all those points have really come from the field. Pero ito, binawian rin ni Robin Naive just in time to try and bring a little bit back the momentum dito sa Rizal, especially after that missed opportunity on the fast break. I don't think that was a good scene and a good sight that the Coach Ralph would want to see again.
Caballero trying to go back to Robbie, instead goes to De Leon. Cañete will not muff this one underneath.
Holding that dunker spot against the zone, you know, paid dividends for Mike Cañete.
72-65 is the count. Escoto has been relatively silent here in the second half. Yutok swings it to the right side. Temajo wants a roadblock. Ubaldo offers it.
Good defense.
Temajo still has it. 6 on the shot clock. Cross court they go. Escoto catch and fire. Wala. Cañete forward to Samboy De Leon.
They got numbers.
Naive sets his feet. That one is money in the bank for Robin Naive.
And when we said that Robin Naive's got to get involved offensively, we mean in that way. without Alvin Aldayo on the floor, somebody's got to take the lead. And Samboy recognizing that corner 3 held by Robbie Naive. Nakashoot ka kanina, ito pa isa. And Robbie Naive says, I got this. Another 3 for Robbie Naive.
They went to the hot hand, and that hot hand was Robbie Naive. This is now a 10-point lead for the Golden Coolers, their first double-digit advantage in a while against Marikina. Check out our special deal from 1xBet when you scan the QR code and claim your special offer. Mike Cañete, Eric Camson, and Robin Naive, these 3 guys were solid against Pasay, but very crucial nga yung naging mintis na mga free throw ni Eric Camson during those overtime periods. And also, curiously, Cañete already had 17 points. Kakaumpisa pa lang ata ng fourth quarter, if I remember right, but he was never subbed in back. Ito si Robin Naive continuing his strong performance in this game. He has 13 sa laro na to, including a flurry of 3-point shots.
Well, that was really good contribution for those guys that you mentioned, Mike Cañete, Eric Camson, and Naive in that game. I think the only knock to that trio really was the field goal shooting. Well, we talked already about the free throws missed, but Eric Camson only coming up with 31% shooting in that game. I'd like to think most of the shots that he took were in the latter part of the game where I felt may pagod ng kasama no? Kasi trinabaho rin niya talaga yung loob ng paint.
This free throw of the game is brought to you by Extreme Appliances, ang subok at kompletong appliance brand ng Pilipinas. 0 out of 2 for Ubaldo on that trip to the line.
You gotta skip it. There you go.
Naive, heat check, still hot.
That's what I was saying. You gotta skip it. You got that ball on the nail. You see that guy who's made a couple of threes already. You gotta give it back to him.
Rizal has outscored Marikina in this fourth quarter, 16-5. Escoto needs a teammate. Yutok is there. Caballero on him. Ubaldo attacks, drops it off. Peñano was stopped on top, but De Leon will be called for that personal foul.
Let's see this pass right here. Entry through the nail. Mike recognizes Robbie Naive again for that 3 in the corner. This is a different shot at him. Baka akala nyo kapareho nung kanina, but it's pretty much the same area where Robbie hit a 3 earlier.
And Naive has already hit a number of 3-point shots in this game. 5 3-pointers in this game for Robbie Naive. Peñano back at the free throw line. Second free throw is good.
Ang gusto mo dyan, dito kay Naive is his last 3 shots, he's 3 out of 3.
All good looks.
Yes.
Credit to guys like Caballero and Samboy De Leon for really setting him up in good spots. Caballero passes it this time to Cañete.
There you go.
It's so tough to stop Mike Cañete when he has that ball already up. Kasi laki ng kamay kaya nabibit-bit niya eh.
Totoo yan. At saka ang ganda na rin nung ikot ng tao against that zone, and they pretty much, in my opinion, have figured it out. And defensively, so far what they're doing is they're really trying to shut down that left side of the floor where there have been numerous dribble penetrations by Marikina. And right now, with that door shot, it's off to the races. Robbie again, same spot.
Different result this time, but they get the offensive rebound. Recycle here for Rizal. De Leon, one of the rare times in his game that he has looked for his shot. Finishing with the reverse. Samboy De Leon, the All-Star, featured here in our play of the game, brought to you by 1xBet, the title sponsor of the Mpbl. 1xBet, your choice, your victory. Feel more game with 1xBet.
The finish of De Leon gave them those 2 points. Pero ang ganda ng assist ni Keanu Caballero. It was a look-away pass. He was intentionally misdirecting everyone that it was going to be going back to Robbie Naive, but no. He gave it up to Samboy underneath.
This is now the biggest lead of the game for the Golden Coolers, 83-67. Approaching the halfway point of quarter number 4. Landayan into the paint. That is a walk against Jome Landayan. One of the calls that I think maybe that's the most consistent call our referees have made throughout the season.
Yes, pretty much.
Tingnan ulit natin yan.
Yeah, same foot.
Can't land on the same foot. You can hop, but you have to land on the other foot. Meanwhile, offensive foul ang may tatawag dito laban sa Rizal. Cañete is picking up his second personal. 83-67. Marikina has mainly struggled here in the fourth quarter. But there is still time para sa kanila. Take a look at the turnover story. That's a big margin of difference, 18-11. And Rizal certainly took advantage of that.
And this is really, at this point in the game, Rizal being Rizal, because they are third in second chance points with almost 15 per game. Right now, how many points do they have of second chance opportunities? They got 15.
Well, Dai missing a circus shot on the other side. Landayan could not take advantage. Rizal will push it again. De Leon couldn't get it to Alday. Pass picked up by Tamzon. And Caballero will give up the foul. Rizal's already in the penalty.
That pass was a little bit late, in my opinion, for from Samboy De Leon. And si Alvin Alday has held on to that corner 3 quite longer than he should. Should have advanced it to him and let him make that decision.
May oras pa dito ang Marikina para humabol, but they've got to make their move right here, right now.
Oh, yes. And the thing is, they've only scored, what? This is their 8th point, right?
Yeah,
Oh,
Rizal has already scored 21 here in the fourth. If we talk about the free throws, coach, not only has it been a factor for Rizal, but also for Marikina. Once again, all-star starter for the South, Kyle Tolentino, and the Gensan Warriors will be facing the Batangas City Tanduay Rum Masters in a battle of 2 teams that are seated beside each other in the South Division team standings. De Leon missing on the point-blank shot.
Another good look for Keanu Caballero, pero hindi na itapos yun ni Samboy De Leon.
You imagine how many assists Keanu would have had in this game.
I say he would have had 3 more than what he has now.
Landayan open from the corner. He drains it. 83-72. This is far from over.
And now, if you're Rizal, you do understand that you've already got Marikina's backs to the wall. And you got to continue performing.
Balagtas
There you go.
bails them out with another free throw line jumper. 85-72.
One of the deadliest guys from 15 feet in.
Ito yung mga tipong ng player na pagpupuntahan mo sa fourth quarter, alam mo sure ball eh.
Yes.
Yan yung mga nakakatakot kalaro sa pustahan.
At saka mataas yung IQ. Yun ang importante doon. Kasi hindi siya basta tumitira eh. Naintindihan niya yung sitwasyon. Right there, it was a catch and shoot on the elbow that he just, on the spot that he just loves.
Caballero will be given a breather here. Balik ulit dito si Philip Manalang para sa Rizal. Same with RR Casajeros for Marikina. Under 3 minutes to play in this game. Marikina back with that zone. Cañete will rise. Jumper no good. Nice pass. Landayan able to score.
That's more like how Landayan really plays. No? A lot of pace. Good change of direction then. At that time, isang diretsong mabilis lang yun para dito kay Jome Landayan.
And coach, the execution of the lead pass, that is an art. Leto Rescoto making that great find. Manalang
Yeah, there you
though,
go.
knocking down a crucial jumper for Rizal.
Yan ang importante for Philip. There will be instances, lalo na in the playoffs, they will leave Philip Manala in open spots in the perimeter, daring him to make those attempts.
And most of the time, misses by Philip from that range, especially when he's wide open. It seems to be more mental than physical.
Oh, kasi maganda rin naman yung release niya. Good read though by Philip.
Rizal doing what it does best, but they leave Carl Peñano on the other side. 89-76. Does Marikina still have one final run in them? Obviously, Rizal tried to take as much clock as possible in this possession.
I don't think Rizal is gonna miss out on this one. They've learned a lot from that Pasay game.
Imagine to lose in 2 overtimes on your home floor. That was certainly a very
yes.
heartbreaking defeat para sa kanila.
Yes.
Landayan on the right side. Landayan gives it up. Escoto for 3. Good line, but too strong. Rizal will get back the possession. Balik dito si Jacob Ubaldo para sa Marikina. This is our fast break of the game, brought to you by Extreme Cool Air Conditioners. Ang Extreme Magpalamig, free installation for split type air conditioners.
Really just giving it up to the least guarded guy in open floor. That happens to be Samboy.
Muli makikita nyo si Samboy De Leon on Saturday along with our other All-Stars and the other participants sa ating mga side events sa ating 2025 Mpbl All-Star Day at the Alontes Sports Arena.
Well, that's the second time that a pass by Samboy De Leon gets deflected. And so you gotta be careful in spraying out those passes if you're Samboy. Especially if you wanna make a run in the playoffs. It's gonna take this.
Masyado malakas ang tira doon ni Alwin Alday. Under a minute to play here in this game between Marikina and Rizal. Only the first game of our Friday triple header here at the Phil Oil Center. Ubaldo sees Landayan. What a second half John Landayan has been having.
But you did see how they loaded up on that left side of the floor as Escoto was going there. And they didn't want him to be creating from that spot of the floor.
So whatever happens here with 27 seconds just remaining in this game, Marikina still gave a gallant stand.
Yes, pretty much. I mean, to be challenging itong Rizal, they gave them a tough time in the second quarter, allowing them only 16 points. But then again, you know, things really just started waking up the Rizal Golden Coolers, and enough to push it to this margin in this game.